In late September, just as multiple women were days away from going on the record with reports of Harvey Weinstein's sexual misconduct, one of his alleged assault victims, Rose McGowan, considered an offer that suggested just how desperate the Hollywood producer had become. Ms. McGowan, who was working on a memoir called Brave, had spoken privately over the years about a 1997 hotel room encounter with Mr. Weinstein and hinted at it publicly. Through her lawyer, she said, someone close to Mr. Weinstein offered her hush money, $1 million, in exchange for signing a non-disclosure agreement. In 1997, Ms. McGowan had reached a $100,000 settlement with Mr. Weinstein, but that agreement, she learned this summer, had never included a confidentiality clause. Ms. McGowan, who was most widely known for her role as a witch on the WB show Charmed, had recently developed a massive following as a fiery feminist on Twitter, but she was now, at 44, a multimedia artist, no longer acting, her funds depleted by health care costs for her father, who died 8 years ago. I had all these people I'm paying telling me to take it so that I could fund my art, Ms. McGowan said in an interview. She responded by asking for $6 million, part counteroffer, part slow torture of her former tormentor, she said. I figured I could probably have gotten him up to 3, she said. But I was like gross, you're disgusting, I don't want your money, that would make me feel disgusting. She said she told her lawyer to pull the offer within a day of the New York Times publishing an article that detailed decades of Mr. Weinstein's alleged sexual harassment, aggression and misconduct toward women, as well as at least 7 other settlements he had reached with accusers. After that, the dam burst, with The New Yorker, The Times and other news outlets reporting on dozens of other women's experiences with Mr. Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein, his accusers say, built his long history of abusing women on a risky gamble that worked for him over and over, the assumption that money or threats could buy women's silence on a subject so intimate and painful that most would prefer not to go public anyway. While Ms. McGowan was the rare voice suggesting that the cover-up was not fail-safe, even she considered not naming him, having already, she believes, paid a career price for that long-ago episode and its aftermath. A Weinstein spokeswoman, Sally Hoffmeister, said that Mr. Weinstein unequivocally denies any allegations of non-consensual sex. Ms. McGowan's lawyer, Paul Coggins, confirmed that Ms. McGowan received the offer. By 2015, Ms. McGowan, who felt alienated by the industry, started using her sizable platform on Twitter to maximize her status as both insider and outsider, someone with enough Hollywood experience to speak with authority about sexism within it, and someone liberated enough from its compromises to unleash the fury in her that had been building for years. Only now does the scope of the news about Mr. Weinstein and the public conversation about what's wrong with Hollywood seem to match the scale of her outrage, giving her the clout of a contrarian at last proven right. On Friday, at the inaugural Women's Convention in Detroit, she was a featured speaker, a new, combative face of feminism, endowed with Hollywood charisma yet anything but slick.